Hello and welcome to the Blood We Spill. I, Jacques Couture, am here to help you all on our first day of production. We are so excited for this movie. Before I get too far into it, though, let us introduce our wonderful main cast actors, and everybody else, please get over there, move. Carl, you're not one of the main people. Go away. First, let's start with Janine. Janine, what character will you be playing?
Well, I will be playing the intrepid Miss Angelique Cooper, uh, steadfast college student, just out here to learn a few new things that I couldn't learn back home.
Excellent, excellent. Michelle.
Hello, I am Michelle, and I am playing Dr. Joseph Carlyle, professor.
And Chrissy.
Hi, I'm Chrissy, and I'm playing Wendy Foster, slightly less steadfast college student, um, with a tendency to enjoy some fun times.
Some herbal delight, maybe?
Yes.
Ayahuasca. Oh wait, I thought subtlety is out the window here.
No,
God, I
no.
wish. You got some?
And of course, we can't not mention the wonderful Candace, who refuses to speak for this entire day because I have not signed the contract yet
Wait.
that says that her crocodile, Gladys, gets its own trailer. So she refuses to speak until we get that done, but she will do cutaway scenes as long as there's no dialogue. She's being very difficult, but I've dealt with actors before, so it'll be fine. Anyway, were you about to say something, Chrissy?
Oh, I was pointing in the wrong direction because
Yes, she's over there. You'd be able to know, but she won't speak, so there you go. Before we start today's filming, I just want to say that it's been 5 years since I last was on a set, and I feel that this is my big chance as a comeback after the disastrous sequel to Gone with the Wind, Gone with the Water, the mudslides of Atlanta. I really should have looked at the geography of the city before I decided on that particular script. It did not go well. So this I really feel is a redemption for me and a chance for these actors to show their stuff and to really spread their wings. And when I say spread their wings, I have some bad news. Last night we had the writers' meeting and none of the writers showed up. I found out that they left with half of our budget and we have no script. So, in great theater tradition, we're going to have to improv this bitch. Now, we all know our characters. We've all had our talks about what the story is going to be. So we'll have to fill in, certain spots. We'll be fine. And then if there's a problem, just say, what's my line? And we'll throw you a line, or, if we need to stop things, we will. All right, everyone? So let's get shooting and see where the blood we spill leads us. All right. It is a dark and stormy night in a prison cell. A young, petite black woman reads a book. It's late, and a little light shines on the page. She's been waiting for hours. Finally, just after midnight, she decides to slip out. The door's been left open for her. She has a friend on the inside. She looks around and puts her hood up over her head, and she slips out of the prison. Now we cut to Chrissy, who is playing the wonderful Wendy Foster. What is Wendy doing on this wonderful fall semester morning before her classes?
Probably sitting out on the quad with some of her friends. They probably, one of them has a guitar. They're singing some Stevie Nicks. They're all very, very stoned, although they did it discreetly rather than out on the campus grounds. Sometimes they're that stupid.
Right.
Today they weren't. So they're just she's probably leaning her head against someone's shoulder, just with a relaxed look on her face. I'm gonna be late for class today is what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm.
All right. So who is your best friend?
Oh, well, we'll say their name is Hannah.
Hannah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a sweet, quiet little thing.
So at some point, as you're slowly making your way to your classes, Hannah approaches you and she says, I had the greatest time last night at a party with the new pastor and his wife and the new I mean, they're about religion and everything, but it's all about love and kindness and finding yourself spiritually. And it was so much fun. And I'm really hoping you can go with me tonight to the little mixer they're going to have. And they've got really good weed.
Oh, I mean, when you said religion, I was iffy, but you got me sold. What's the pastor's name?
Oh, his name's Brad, and he's gorgeous. Just beautiful, man. Wonderful teeth. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, I'm absolutely in.
What class do you have next?
Oh, well, oh goodness. You know, I got so high I forgot. I think I just have like a standard Lit 101 class. So, you know, it'll be fine. Yeah.
So, just for our audience, weed in the 70s was not as good as weed now. So the amount of weed to get really stoned was a lot. It was just a different kind of thing. So
the reefer madness thing was damn near impossible.
Oh yeah.
Like you would have to smoke so much weed to be
that was more like
the level of high that people get today.
Yeah, shroom madness. I think that should have been called. So something like the LSD madness. So you wander off to your lit class because you're lit. And
oh yeah. I didn't intend that, but
so let's jump over to Dr. Joseph. Doctor, what are you doing this morning?
Well, I'm getting ready for my morning lecture to my anthropology class.
Oh, and you recently went to Peru for a large archaeological dig at a temple. Do you remember what was your biggest find there?
Well, we found a number of very interesting artifacts, including some bowls and some objects of worship. But the most interesting object was a jet black object of some sort, and we cannot quite identify what it is. It's not in the same style as any of the rest of the objects, and we have yet to date it. So we're trying to discern its age and its purpose. It's not of any of the known Incan deities.
Hmm. So at this point, this particular item is in a back room where you have a lot of these different relics. Now, the Peru authorities know that you have this particular item. You're supposed to study it for a year and then send it back as they turn a large temple area into kind of a walking museum. Every once in a while, you feel almost compelled to go and look at this item and feel it. It's incredibly cold. No matter what room, it never takes in any of the heat that is around. And it's cluttered your mind a bit. It makes you think of it often. So, let's jump over to Janine. What is Angelique doing right now in this morning?
Angelique would have gotten up really early in the morning to begin her daily regimen. So I'd say within the half hour before classes start for the first class, she'd be finishing up her morning jog with one of the other morning joggers. She likes to do things in pairs.
Cool. So you get done with your jog, and you usually take this. So to explain what our set looks like, it's a large city called Black Wolf Bay, and it's actually no, I'm wrong. Sorry. It's a town called Black Wolf Bay. There's about 30,000 people living here. And we have enough extras to make it look like there's maybe 35 people living here, but we'll do what we have to do to make it work. The university is called Harkwood University. It's right on the river. There is a large pine wood forest that is outside of the city. And it is home to lots of college students. It is kind of a magnet for young people. You've run through the woods, through like a wooded trail kind of close to where the school's at. When you get back, you notice that there's a dog just at the edge of the woods, and it's barking towards you.
Does it look friendly?
Yes, it does.
I jog over. What? Well,
it kind of looks up at you and kind of gives you this, frantic eyes. And it starts to go into the woods a little bit and then looks back at you as if it wants you to follow.
I kind of look over at my running partner.
Is this running partner just an extra, or do they have a name?
Oh, God. What is the risk of dying if I go with a named character? They're an extra. They're an extra.
Extra. All right. Continue.
Well, do you think we want to go and look after it?
Oh, I get lines? I'm just okay. Yes.
You just nod along, sweetie. You just nod along.
Yeah. Yes, we should go. We should follow the dog.
I look out at the director.
Go follow the dog. Come on, act.
All right. And I start to jog after the dog. And I'm like, come on, whatever your name is.
All right. The dog runs about, let's say 10 yards. into the woods, and you suddenly realize that you're kind of in the thick of it, as it were. There is trees, these huge pine trees all around you, and you get this smell just of like blood. It's very distinct. It's like a little coppery in it, and the dog's like whimpering
Smells like
a little
something's
bit.
dying out here. And I look around to see if I see anything.
If
Bloodied.
you kind of look around, and let's see real quick. So let's go ahead and let's do a simple roll just to show the audience how rolls work in this. It's not and let's mix survival and I guess cunning. So you'd get 4d10 for that.
Survival and cunning. So remember how earlier I said I always end up forgetting my dice.
You forgot your dice? All right, cut everybody.
Yes.
We'll take 5 while Janine gets her dice. Come on, get going. Well, come on. Actors.
So I specifically
Yes,
I
Chrissy.
specifically asked for M&Ms in my trailer, and I don't have any. I feel like that's a pretty basic request. If Candace gets like a place for her crocodile, I could at least have a few M&Ms.
Amateurs.
Yes, fine. I'll get you some M&Ms, but I'm not taking all the red ones out. I'm not doing that again. We're not doing
But
it.
I'm allergic to red dye.
Just pick through them. Give them to an extra. They don't eat.
Fine.
See,
By
let's
the
get back.
way, you could pay more for craft services next time.
I can't
I'm
pay
just
anything for
saying.
craft services. I stole half that last night. The writers took all our money.
I'm sorry. Do you mean to tell me we can't even pay for snacks for us?
No, not really. Between my six wives and their alimony, and the writers taking all of the money that we were supposed to use for this particular film, we have nothing. And I'm doing my best. I really am. I really am.
My God, I haven't been on such a shit show since the Queen of Sheba.
Oh, God.
Listen, whatever it takes to get my career back on track.
Well, let's get that train going then and get back into seeing lights. We're losing light. All right, so you follow this dog over, and you're looking around. Go ahead and give me a roll. You're cunning, and we said survival, so 4 dice altogether. You want to get 8s, 9s, or 10s.
I got a 9.
Excellent. 1 success is all you need. So you're looking through the bushes, you're kind of following where the dog's going, and you see all this blood covering all of these different leaves and the ground, and there's a little bit of gore on the ground. And you look up, and there is a man hanging from his feet over a large limb of a tree. It looks like he was stuck there somehow, and his shirt is missing, and large patches of skin have been ripped away, and his blood is dripping down onto the floor of the forest.
Okay. Me thinking about how to let out a blood-curdling scream without peeking everyone's fucking ears.
All of these birds As Wendy is making her way into the building where her lit class is, she turns suddenly because she thinks she hears something, and she sees all these birds come up from the forest for just a moment as this noise pierces through the woods.
No, no, no. And I just start sprinting out with no regard for the extra or for my running buddy.
And the extra starts to run behind you. The dog starts to run behind the extra. What do you want to do? Like, so you've seen this body. What is your response? You do not have the greatest history with the authorities. So does that stop you from interacting with them? Or do you go
Absolutely.
to like a trusted professor?
I would likely go to a trusted professor.
Okay.
Perhaps my ancient civilization professor.
Excellent. So you run in, and right now, say your last name, Michelle.
Carlisle.
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 Thank you. Carlisle. All right. So Professor Carlisle is giving his
Dr.
speech.
Carlisle.
No, sorry, for fuck's sake, Dr. Carlisle. Fine. You're giving your speech. Say something.
And so the ancient peoples of the river, this is how they buried their dead. They would often take their enemies and string them up. When are you going to interrupt me?
You were making so many pauses between your lines. I wasn't sure when to interrupt you. Are you ready for me to send them in?
Young man, do you not know the meaning of the word interrupt?
Fine. So right
if I'm
as
speaking and I'm supposed to be interrupted, it's in the script that the little bit of the script we do have.
why exactly can you speak so fluently when you're not reading lines? Listen. So at that point,
Well, when I don't have shit dialogue to read, then I can speak freely.
Uh-huh. It is... Oh, you're muted. I still can't hear you, Janine. No.
Uh-huh.
We've lost
Chrissy,
Janine.
you're muted.
Yeah, I actually was muted. I'm not. I was like, what? Janine.
So, why Janine figures out the issues with Mike, we'll switch over to Wendy real quick. So, Wendy, you're in the lit class, and you're pretty sure you heard some kind of scream. And your teacher is this stuffy, probably in his 60s, professor who's, let's call him Hoggawart. And Hoggawart, not to be mistaken for another IP, is up there, and he's kind of acting a little differently. And he usually wears a tie and a suit, but today he doesn't have a tie on, and he's got his smoking jacket kind of off to the side, and he's... No. Did you really break your mic? Is it not working at all, Janine?
I don't know. Oh, no, there it
we go.
goes.
There
We're
we go.
good.
Good. Just a momentary, oh my God. So, yeah, he looks like something's a little different about him. He's a lot more free-flowing in a way. He doesn't seem as stodgy as he usually does. and he's talking about a piece of French poetry from the 1800s. And for a second, he stops and he looks at you and he says, "What's your favorite thing about love, Wendy?"
Oh, how unpredictable and fleeting it is.
That is one aspect of it that makes it the most interesting sometimes, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
what is your most desired thing? What do you want to accomplish when it comes to love?
Oh, I suppose finding someone that will allow me to remain free while also, enjoying my companionship.
So, someone who understands that you can't hold back someone's love, correct?
I'm the butterfly that you have to release in order to earn my love.
And what about, and as he's speaking, he slowly starts to morph into what you imagine Brad looks like. Beautiful blonde hair, kind of a little long and shaggy, little bit of Robert Plant in the early days, kind of curl in it, and
Oh.
his that smile and everything else. And he goes, "Do you see yourself as a child of God?"
Oh, well, I hadn't before, but I suppose I could.
And do you feel like the world around you is full of possibilities?
Well, that smile certainly makes me feel that way, yes.
Mrs. Foster, wake up.
Oh, 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 I'm so sorry.
If you fail this course, you will have to take the entire class again. Do you want to do that?
Oh, absolutely not. um, I'm so sorry. I suppose I need a little bit of water. What were you saying?
Well, why don't you go to the hallway and compose yourself and come back ready to speak of the poem that we're reading today, which is "You're Gonna Die."
I'm sorry, what was that?
The poem we're reading today, "You're Going to Die." It's by the
Oh,
nihilist
okay.
from
I thought
19...
maybe I.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought maybe I misheard you. Yes, going to compose myself sounds like a great idea. I will be back. And I just grab my stuff and go.
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk back, walk off set.
All right. So you walk out of the room, and as you walk out of the room, you notice someone that you've met a couple of times, Angelique. You've seen her running in the mornings, kind of keeping to herself in some regards. You haven't really spoken to her much, but she's going into the archaeologist lab, basically. And you you notice that she sneaks in there. Would you like to follow her, or are you just going to get some water and go back?
I think I would follow. Does she look obviously distressed? Yes.
Yes, she does.
I was running. I was
Yeah.
going to slam into that door, like the sound of when you push open the doors in like a gym or something, and it just kind of echoes.
Well,
That's the entrance I was going for.
yeah, yep. I'm the curious of cats, so I'm gonna tag along behind, be a little nosy.
All right, so you hit this door hard. Now when you hit it, everyone kind of turns around. The doctor stops talking. Wendy, you can kind of slide in behind. Go for it. What do you say?
Oh, I'm so sorry, doctor. Can I speak to you after class?
Well, it's almost time for class to be over, so give me one moment. All right, so read pages 42 to 273
What?
by next class.
Oh.
And we will be discussing the Aramarama people and their death rituals.
That's over like 200 pages, sir.
I know how to count, young man. You think university
Fine.
would be easy?
As they slowly make their way out, as if just being told that they're going to be shot in the morning. Like they've lost it. They've lost the, it could be. It's very possible. So you're all alone in the room together now.
Yes, Miss Cooper. What is so concerning?
And I turn to Chrissy and turn to Wendy. I'm sorry. And you are?
Oh, Wendy Foster. It's a pleasure. I mean, we've met a couple times. I wouldn't remember me either. It's fine. I saw you running. You seemed very panicked.
Yes, that pot smoking hippie that I regularly see in the courtyard.
Thank you.
I rather expected to speak to Dr. Carlisle here in private.
You can pretend I'm not here. It's fine.
I walk closer to Professor. Professor, there's something that I saw in the woods that I can't. I couldn't begin to describe it to someone other than you.
Well,
And I look over my shoulder.
can you take me
Wendy.
to it? Can you take me to it?
Yes. I think between classes is the best time, like now. Okay. And I like kind of turn on my heel and start walking towards the door, taking care to like not slam it open.
Okay.
Yeah, let's be quick.
So all of you follow out with Angelique, and you find yourself in the woods. And before you even get there, you start hearing this buzzing sound of a large swarm of flies. It gets louder and louder as you get closer. This isn't just your normal, hey, there's a corpse nearby and there's a few flies. This is hundreds or maybe even thousands of flies everywhere. And when you get there to where the corpse is, you see it up in the tree. It is half eaten away as maggots are falling out of it onto the ground and quickly growing into flies.
I mean, the rate of decay, it wasn't near this bad when I left. Not 10 minutes ago. And I go over and I'm gonna poke it with a pencil out of my bag.
You're going to poke the corpse?
I'm gonna poke the corpse and like kind of try and examine it.
Okay.
The rate of decay is just outlandish.
All right. So, you poke the corpse, and the eyes pop open, and there's all of these flies around its face, and it opens its mouth.
Shit!
It says, "Run," and it starts to fall onto the ground. Go ahead, Janine. You were gonna say something.
And this is the part I'm like, I mean, the reference outdated, but Dukes of Hazzard. And this is where the boys decide they're in over their head. You don't have to tell me twice. And I turn and I look to the both of them. And I just take off.
All right.
Again.
This thing, as the two of you are standing there, Angelique runs off, and this thing starts to pull itself up, but it seems like the flies and the maggots are what's controlling it. It's still alive. You could hear his wails and screams over the buzzing. They're somehow keeping his soul within this corpse, and it starts to walk on all fours towards you.
I grab Wendy's hand and start running.
What? Did I accidentally do something a little stronger than the weed? What is happening? I guess I'm letting myself be dragged along. It's fine, but I am stumbling, a little confused.
Actually, I think that this would be a good point for how well you're all running through the woods, because it is difficult, and you are in this game. When you get a shock like this, it's called haunted. So you are all haunted right now, and there are different effects for what haunted is. We're going to say that you're psychologically haunted, which just means that you are panicked and maybe even obsessed about what's going on. This is a not forever thing. It will go away over time, probably by next scene. So, but let's look at a roll here. So I'm going to let you all pick. You have to pick a skill and an attribute that you think best matches up with getting away from this fly monster that's chasing you through the woods.
For me, I'm going to say athletics and composure.
Okay, that works. What are you thinking, Chrissy?
Sorry.
Athletics and dexterity.
That works, yeah. What about you, Janine?
Because I kind of know these woods, because this is my running path, I'm gonna go with survival and dexterity.
Sounds good. So go ahead and make your rolls. Add up how many successes you get. Remember, 8s and 9s are considered 1 success. A 10 is considered 2 successes.
What about 7s?
Nope. Did you fail completely, Janine?
Is 7 failing completely?
There's no, basically it's 8, 9, and 10. If you got no 8, 9, or 10 on your dice, for your dice pool, you don't have any successes.
I don't have any successes.
Okay.
Neither do I.
I don't have 1, but
Okay.
successes either.
Yes, Chrissy?
I got 1 8 and then 2 3. So I succeeded. Like you just said, we needed 1 success, right?
Right, correct. For
Yep.
this particular thing.
Cool.
So
Cool.
here's the deal. You're running. You hear this thing on your tail, right? It is just going right up behind you. You can hear the buzzing, you can hear the gargling of this man's screams. Suddenly, Angelique and the doctor both fall hard. They hit a tree, a branch or something that they were trying to get over, and they hit the ground. And you realize in that split second you have two choices. Keep running and hope for the best for them, or do something to help them out. What does Wendy want to do?
I turn around and I hold up my crystal and I say, wait. And I have a trope called the talisman, a powerful token that bears significance to your character that can be anything of your choice, but must be carried around with you. As long as you have your talisman on you, monsters capable of rational thought attempt to engage you in conversation before trying to kill you.
Nice. Okay. That sounds great.
I love it.
So it stops and it looks up at you, and in this insect buzzing voice, what?
Oh, well, that was a rather rude way to start that question, but what happened to you?
Something came over me. Some kind of, I think, demon. It possessed me, and it ate me from the inside and laid its children into my skull and my throat and hung me up in a tree until they hatched.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh dear. That's quite the orgy of horror.
All right, real quick. Do we all have to vote real quick? Was that quip good? I think that quip was good. I'm going to say okay. So what that means is because you use that quip, you get an extra die on your next roll. So.
Cool.
Yes, it is quite the orgy of horror. You're correct. Please.
How can we help you? Can we help your soul move on from this world? That way your body can decompose naturally. Because what is happening right now is so very unnatural.
You're right. It is not natural at all. But I have a compulsion, a need to eat. And you have two friends here that are on the ground. Give me one of them, and I'll let you go.
Eeny, meeny. No, but really, I can't do that.
This really feels like a
Is there
manipulation.
something else I could?
Yeah, this feels like a
Oh,
manipulation situation. So you have 4 in
Okay.
manipulation and
I've
Empathy.
Okay, persuasion.
or persuasion.
All right.
Empathy sounds like you're trying to be empathetic, or getting them to be empathetic.
I like to think I'm trying to get them to be empathetic, right? Listen, they're living people that still have family and lives and dreams and goals. What's happened to you has already happened. What else can I offer you? So that is what, 7 dice, it looks like?
Yeah, because you have a plus
Bam.
1. You have a plus 1 from your quip as well. So
Okay.
you get 4, 5, 6, 7.
Then,
Also, real quick,
wait, if I'm
you're
I've
doing.
got 4 manipulation and 3 in empathy. So
So,
would it
okay,
be 8
3.
if I'm doing a plus
It's
one?
8 altogether. My bad.
No, you're fine. I'm just making sure I'm doing this right.
Right. No, you're doing it
That
right.
is so many dice. Okay. That is one. That is a 10 on 1, and then an 8, and then the rest were failures.
Okay.
So
Well, no,
Three
you made you had 3 successes. I'm going to say that the difficulty of this was 2 altogether, because this getting a decomposing fly creature not to do something is pretty hard. So you have 1 success left over. And
okay, cool.
go ahead and what do you offer this thing to make it, to persuade it? You've already made the roll, but what in this very moment would Wendy say?
Oh goodness. I could, I'm not quite used to doing this. I could pray with you in hopes that that would help your soul.
Pray?
Or I could help to exorcise you. Yeah. If you think you have a demon in you, surely the gods could help.
Plural gods?
Yes. I have a hard time believing that there is just one. That in this world and everything in it just seems too big. There's got to be many.
I mean, I guess I could see that.
Mm-hmm. So yes, I would love to pray to the divine beings that surround us, that your soul will find peace, and you will no longer feel hunger for this human flesh.
But it's so tasty. But I guess you make good points. Let us pray then.
Let us pray.
All right. So we're going to do a hard cut to, it is early morning, and our escapee has made her way across a large portion of Washington. She has eluded the police so far, hiding her hair and her face and trying to avoid people as much as possible. She jumps on back of a truck that's heading towards Black Wolf Bay, and she looks around and wonders if her friend that helped her get out of the prison is doing okay, if they even know she's missing yet. Sure, the bay should be the perfect place to lay low. Like it says on the sign, nothing ever happens there. She's sure that it's the right place. So, hard cut. After praying with the demon corpse, it dissolves into the ground and all of the flies go away. And you wake your friends up who ran through the forest just moments ago and missed their rolls and fell on their asses. You wake them up.
Face plant.
Face plant. And they look around and you notice that this creature is gone. Somehow, Wendy was able to save you from its clutches.
What happened?
Oh, we just had a chat. Angelique, aren't you glad that I stayed?
Yeah, sure. And I shake your arm off. What was that thing?
Oh, well, they said that they had a demon that infested them. It made them hungry for human flesh.
A demon. You say?
Demons. Damn it.
I know, it's so unfortunate for them, right?
It's unfortunate that never mind. Yeah, let's get out of this forest.
All right. So we're going to hard cut real quick. And all right, everybody, that was great. We have to set up for the next few shots. We're all going to, we need to take a break. Maybe 10 minutes. Go back to your trailers. Don't make me look for you. We need to get shots done this afternoon. For the rest of the crew out there, take your 10-minute break. I know, but this isn't a union gig, so you don't get 15 and you're not getting a lunch. So just suck it up and deal with it. We have a lot to get through today. All right. So
That's non-union job I take.
um
I'm going
so
to talk to my agent about this.
so you all are back in the doctor's I guess class / laboratory after
I would have an office.
office.
Yeah.
What does your office look like, Carlisle?
My office is big-ish office. It's very like got the old wood desk and like some padded chairs for people sitting in there, probably a sofa in the corner. Loads of books on shelves, very dark wood, old lamps, classic professor's office, not tidy at all. Notes everywhere.
Awesome. So before we go further, I just want chat to know that we usually have our envelope of fate, which is two different things that can happen. One thing is good, one thing is bad. If we hit the $50 mark, we will do one envelope of fate. If we hit $100, I will add in another monster that will plague our actors. So your support goes to help us keep the show going, and we appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who's
Maybe
been
we can get some.
Go ahead. It's okay.
I'm so
Go
sorry. I
ahead.
was just gonna joke. Maybe we can get some craft services up in this bitch with that. So sorry.
No. We can go from stealing food from the local neighbors to possibly getting Mickey D's, which is a step up for any crew making a film. So that's what's going on with the old envelopes of fate. And let's see what else. Oh wow! So thank you to Bowman and who gave. We got two tips, and I'm like behind here. Sorry. So
You're doing a great job, Sweaty.
So thank you so much. So the first envelope of fate. Let me see here.
We need a button for that.
We really
It just
do.
plays the sound.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. I need. I have the Stream Deck. I should do that. Okay, so what this does is it gives you, you get 4 rewrite points. So to explain what that is that everybody in the cast has a pool of rewrite points. Usually you have to get what are called botches to use those. Every time you get a botch, you get a point towards the rewrite. But the envelope of fate, because of our wonderful watchers, our wonderful chat, you get 4 points automatically, and you can spend those towards cinematics, which is in your book. Now, these points will stay around until they are used. So even if you don't use them during this game, they will roll over to the next stream next week. So thank you, everybody. We are only
Thank you.
$18 away
you,
from
chat.
the second monster. So maybe there'll be a second
Oh.
monster.
That's interesting. Are we counting bits in this?
I have no idea, to be honest. How much are bits even worth? I don't know. I'm so new to this that I'm completely out.
The
And thank
conversion
you.
rate is so funky, and they've started like you can take money too when you're the conversion rate depends on like, oh, I'm buying it on my phone versus I'm buying it. It's so stupid. Anyway,
Well,
The
Jurassic.
estimation is like 100 bits is $1.
Okay, cool. So, if we get bits and after the show I figure out the math and it opens up something, then that will roll over to the next game. So, there you go. Dork Lord France got us to 100. So, I'm not telling you what the second monster is going to be.
well, yeah, but it's there. We know
Oh.
that we now know that there are 2.
Yeah.
budget has increased and we got 2 more buckets of blood.
Yes, thank you all so much. That's awesome. All right, so let's kill some people. All right, here we go. What? I get to have fun too.
What people?
Not these people.
So all of you are in the doctor's office. What are you speaking of after seeing this horrific sight?
Did he say what kind of monster he was?
He just said he was inhabited by a demon that made him very hungry. He almost ate you.
Demon. Hungry demons.
Demons, yeah. And I start looking through my books.
Okay,
on my shelves.
All of you can make like if we were playing Call of Cthulhu, a library use roll. I would suggest intellect and
I actually have a trope. I have a trope. Unless my notes deceive me. And it's once per story, you may ask the director for a clue relating to a monster's activities, and they will provide you with that clue.
Okay, so you just want to use that. For you can use that trope. I want to find out real quick though, does Wendy and Angelique want to try and do some research on their own in this? You know, the doctor's got a good bit of paper and occult work, books around. So if you'd like to make a roll, you can.
Absolutely. I'm very, very curious.
I'll join in the research as well.
Okay. All right. I'm going to check something really quick. Okay. So just so you know, trademarks, the way that they work is if you can do a trademark that connects into whatever role you're making, you get a bonus 2 dice. Okay. So if there's something like, I know where that book is, that would be a trademark that you could use to help out. I'm looking at your all's trademarks, and I don't really see anything that hooks into this particular thing. But that's for the future, just so you know. What skill and attributes are you, Janine and Chrissy, going to roll?
Oh, well.
I think I will go with intellect and actually, what would it be? Enigmas, intellect and enigmas. Maybe.
Yeah, enigmas are basically the puzzle skill, so that works perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Chrissy? What are you thinking?
So I have, intellect as well, but I could use either humanities or culture, I think.
Culture works or humanities? Either one of those. You could make an argument for either one.
They're both 2, so.
That works. So go ahead and give me your rolls and let me know what you get.
I got 1 9.
That's a success. So that's all you need.
1 8.
What? That's a success. That's all you need. Okay. So the first clue that you find out is you look under demons and you find, and this is for the doctor, there is a mention of a great, he became a demon, but he was a god first. And his name was Beelzebub. He's a Philistine god. And he slowly turned into a demon in Christian lore. The next thing you find, and this is for Chrissy, you find in your looking through the books that Beelzebub actually fights with the devil himself, chafing under the rule of hell, not wanting to be a second-class demon when he knows he's a god, an ancient god. And Angelique, you find that the hunger that was spoken of by the victim is the hunger of Beelzebub himself. He infects people, he controls them like puppets, and his children can spread. They're not normal flies. They can embed themselves and take over people. And now you know that there's a few hundred of these flies out there. Those are the clues that you find.
You know, as I'm flipping through, I think I've got a cousin back home who's an exterminator.
I hope he's good at his job.
Doctor, we have to stop this from getting out any further.
We have to see what can work against this horrible evil.
I mean, fire kills bugs, but what about demons?
Fire kills most things.
But demons?
Well, according to my calculations, I want to use a trademark to see if I can come up with a way to fight the demons somehow.
All right, so you get a bonus 2 to that roll, and then just tell me how many successes you get and which attribute and skill.
So it's enigmas, science, resolve, right?
Yeah.
And then a bonus 2 dice.
Yeah, bonus 2 die. That but you burn the trademark for the
dice.
rest of this game, so you can't use that one again until next week.
Okay.
If you live that long.
Right. So that is 5 successes. 2 of them are 10s.
Wow.
Damn.
That's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of successes. Now, underneath in the skill section, there are stunts. I don't know if you want to take a real quick look to spend some of those points, but you have to use them up before the next scene, okay? So
okay, so okay, so they don't go into a bank somewhere?
No, it's not
The
like the
points?
writer's
Okay.
pool.
Okay.
So you used
All
Enigma,
right.
so like you can use something like Insight. You could spend, you may purchase the stunt and take an investigation action for a specific monster. So that would be 1 point. 2 points would be you can purchase, I'll give you more like if you spent 3 points of that right now, I would give you a lot of information on how to kill the demons that are running through, because you have so many points to go.
Okay, so what I'll do, I guess my stunt, quote unquote, will be this reminds me of something I saw when I was down in Peru. Wait, let me check my field notes. And I start looking at my field notes and matching it up with some anthropology tome and some occult tome that I have, and putting it all together.
Well, there's no place like tome. And you start looking through stuff, I'm really sorry. You start looking through things.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we deny that clip?
I loved it so much that it
That's part of
hurt.
the rule.
Oh, I've been a dad too long. All right, so you start going through all this stuff and you find this quip denied. Exactly. I've been denied by chat. So you start pulling all this stuff together, and you find a entry about a local folklore from Peru where farmers would get attacked by these voracious demons that seem to be covered in flies. And the way that they dealt with them was there was a spell that they cast to be able to make the connection between the demons and the flies break. And so to sever that connection, they would have to do a quick ritual. But the ritual requires you to spill blood and say a quick word before it will take effect. And every time you use the spell, it takes a little bit more of your life essence away, because you're using your, as Wendy would say, your inner being to put a wall between you and the spiritual world and cut the connection between Beelzebub and his puppet. So, through all your study, you figure out that yes, you can, but how much blood are you willing to spill to make that happen?
Well, there's a way that we can sever the connection between the flies and the demons that are controlling them, but am I willing to pay the price?
Okay.
Come on, quip.
Right, really? That was,
that was a
seamless.
Yeah. I'll give
It was
that.
a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Plus, so you get your point for that. All
Bravo.
right. Yeah, that was very nice. But I mean, just before we move on with this scene, look, Michelle, I know that you're an accomplished actor, but look off to the right a little bit, not directly into the camera. I mean, we don't have time to recut that or redo it. It'll be fine, but just away from the camera next time, okay?
Make it a zoom in and a close up, and it'll be fine.
All right. So you have all of this information now about how to fight these demons. You know where they're from and who's controlling them. But that's it. You don't know anything else. Where is this demon lurking now is the question. Where are they? So I guess I want to know, you've spent several hours, kind of going over all this information. It's getting later in the day. Where do you think you want to head? Where do you split up? Do you want to go and look around the woods some more?
At night?
It's just
Sorry,
a
someone else
suggestion.
suggest that.
I'm just suggesting. I mean, nighttime in the dark is always, in the forest is always safe. What does everybody want to do? Do you want to split up? Do you want to stay together? You've done as much research as you can with the information that you have. What's the next move? You know everyone's in danger right now. Your entire school, the entire town is in danger.
Oh, well, I actually got invited to a party with some religious folk who might have some idea of where a demon would love to go. Um, so they might be able to give me some answers.
Religious folk. I bet they would.
Yeah. Surely you could come along if you would like. Although there's going to be a lot of pot smoking hippies there.
If I hadn't seen what I've seen already, I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this at all. I have class in the morning.
Well, if we don't stop this demon, you might not ever have class again.
I need a drink. That was a
nice.
clip.
I think that with Chrissy's line and your line, I'm going to say, yeah, absolutely. So just you get a +1 on your plus die on your next skill roll. So what about you, Carlisle or Doctor? What are you going to do?
Well, I'd like to know how this demon got here. Demons, according to folklore, are usually summoned. Who would do such a thing? That is what I have to find out. So tonight I'm going to hit the books and do some more research.
Okay.
I don't know, Professor. It seems like religious types, no offense, Lindy, would be the kind of people who would call it. You know, these religions that pop up around campuses passing out their weird little flyers, pamphlets.
Yes,
they're always into some weird new age stuff. Maybe they called. I think you should come with us.
All right. I'll go with you and
Oh no!
I know that I won't. Uh-oh, you're frozen.
Cut!
No.
Where is the camera person?
We need to get more cans of film. Just give us a couple of minutes. We'll just relax. It's okay. I'm sure we'll be able to get camera 3 working again. Everything will be okay. In the meantime, let us cut away to our young escapee. Oh, now everything's wonky.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We just have to wait for the camera people to fix camera number 3. Everything's okay. So let's just go, we'll do another scene real quick. So you see our young escapee. You see our young escapee as they jump off the back of a truck as it pulls into Black Wolf Bay. She looks around. She's put a lot of miles between her and the prison. She has to lay low. As she's walking down the street towards the heart of the city, she starts to hear a really loud buzzing sound. So we now will cut back. I guess we're gonna have to wait for a few minutes to see whether or not we can get camera 3 back up. Anyway, Michelle, we need to talk about your insistence of being the top of the marquee. It doesn't make any sense. It is unacceptable, in my opinion.
First of all, you'd have to talk to my agent about that because it's written in my contract. Second of all, do any of these other actors have box office draw? I don't think so.
I think that Chrissy is a wonderful new starlet. I think that she's
Of course. I'm not saying they're bad actors.
She's got great box office appeal, in my opinion.
But I already have a following
Yeah.
who will come to see my movies.
I'm not quite as accomplished as Michelle.
Don't sell yourself short. You're wonderful too, though. And
no, Chrissy, you're a wonderful actress, and you're up and coming, and I'm sure your star will rise very, very high.
And then I can have it in my contract that I be at the top of the marquee.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, the cameraman. Anyway, let's not get completely ahead of ourselves here. I think that what we really need to do is talk about the fact that your last big hit was a few years ago. And, oh, I heard a little beep. Let's see. Oh, here we go. 1 second. That's Discord. Oh, okay. So, just for everybody, so you know, Janine had a technical issue. She's rebooting right now. The reason that you can't see Chrissy is because everything kind of went sideways. There she is. Okay.
Oh, my green screen's having a hard time with that.
So as soon as Janine jumps back on, we will be able to continue. If I move Chrissy and then Janine jumps back on, then I'm going to have to redo it all anyway. So we just have to wait for a second. We appreciate your patience, and we will continue to talk about the fact that Michelle being at the top of the marquee, even though she's a veteran actor with a lot of former box office draw, her last movie didn't do so well. And that's kind of what I think that fresh blood is needed on the top of the marquee, is what I'm saying.
Oh, and so the gloves are off, are they? If we're talking about past hits and how long it's been since you've had one.
Look, there's no reason to be snide. This isn't about my past failures, which was only one film.
That's all it takes in this business.
If you don't want to talk about past failures, we could talk about current ones. Like, pissing off the writers so much that they leave and take all the money and the script and everything else for that matter.
Those hacks didn't know what they were talking about. Hacks, I say. Hacks. Look, all I said was that I thought a few rewrites were needed for some of the scenes, and they took it way too personally, and now I feel we've done very well, though, without them. I think so far it's been an incredible Lulu. See, look. What's my line? An incredible run so far. We don't need any stinking hacks.
If you say so.
Well, look. Well, I do say so. I also think, oh, wait a minute. I think camera 3 might be ready. Let's see. Yay, camera 3's back.
Yay.
Woohoo.
I made it. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Fucking classic.
No problem. Well, I'm glad to see we're all back up. We will continue the discussion about the marquee later.
Uh-oh.
I guess you'll have to take care of the marquee after you take care of the crocodile.
Competing star power problems.
Yes, well, look. Candace brings a stoic vision to this production that we need. The fact that Candace has been completely silent this entire thing shows her dedication to that crocodile.
In other words, her agent is putting the screws to you and wants her to have top billing. I see.
Well, there is that. Yes, there's that. Look, I have 6 wives and 6 different alimonies that I must pay. And this must be a hit, and I must say that this hit will not be with an older actor. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be cruel, but I must be cruel. It is just the way it is.
You may have 6 wives, but I have the backing of William Morris Agency. You'll be hearing from them in the morning.
I don't know why we're all pretending like this movie's going to make any money anyway.
I need to go get a couple of Percocet. All right, so let's get back into it. All right. Quaaludes.
Oh, jeez.
For those of you who don't know what Quaaludes are, they're not around anymore.
Yeah, they don't make them anymore.
So
not like they used to, at least.
No. Candy for your parents. Let's see. We were discussing about the next scene either being the religious mixer with Pastor Brad, or Michelle, you were talking about Carlisle doctor looking through their notes and studying. So do you want to split up, or do you follow your 2 students to this mixer?
I'll follow the students. I'm going to try to look as hip as possible in my turtleneck.
I'm actually going to make
still
you
with my
roll.
pipe.
I'm going to make you roll this. You have to roll.
I'm not going to look hip at all.
Okay, do you purposely want to not look hip?
I want to look awkward, like
Excellent.
a professor trying to fit in at a student gathering.
Right, no problem. So you're not like the young professor who's like, "Hey, everybody, I brought weed with me." Okay.
No.
So, by the way, everyone, just so you know, there is going to be talks of drugs during this. Guess I should.
In case you hadn't guessed it.
Content warning.
Late content warning.
Late content warning. If you haven't figured out now, there are drugs. So it is the 70s. So you make it to this party. It is at the pastor's house. There's a barbecue going on in the back. There are lots of students here. And as you walk in, Wendy, you're stopped at the door by your friend Hannah. And she goes, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you, but you brought friends with you."
Oh, well, friends is a generous term, but yes.
Well, these
You
parties...
flower loving types, we're all friends.
Oh, we're friendly. There is a difference.
Well, that's a very Midwest statement right there. For those of us from the Midwest, smile.
I love it.
All right, so 1 second, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Everyone's doing great. Even you, old Mac.
It needed a breather.
Something like that.
Oh.
Got the fan trained on the back of it.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, it's also partially because it gets so fucking hot in here. Anyway.
Yeah. So she goes, "Well, these parties get a little wild. I mean, I know it's supposed to be about religion and everything, but this is like a different type of religion. Like they're really into love.
Oh, well,
Like really into love.
spread the love around, huh?
Literally, yes.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, Flower Child. Did you get us into an orgy?
It seems possible. Although, from what I've heard, the pastor here is very, very handsome. But yes, it seems like it was totally unintentional. I had no idea. I am so sorry. I could go in and ask questions.
Well,
You're welcome to come.
If you all leave before the festivities, I mean, it takes a couple of hours. The barbecue's still going on. I'm just letting you know that these parties can get a little wild towards the end of the night, and I wouldn't want anybody to be taken off guard. You know what I mean? And Hannah's talking under her breath, making sure no one can hear her.
Well, we really appreciate the warning. I would very much at least like to come in. Would Dr. Carlisle? I feel like this is something that you would be interesting for you to study. It's,
from a purely anthropological perspective, yes. And he takes out his notebook.
Janine, I think.
All right, so
I think maybe you're muted again, Janine. Yep.
Nope.
Can't hear you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We're gonna fire cameraman number 3. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, are you so broke that your mic operator and your cameraman are the same person? No wonder everything's
That
falling
boom out of my
apart.
face.
Ah, Jesus.
That got it.
Jesus, where do you find these people?
I found them at the 7-Eleven early in the morning, and I just brought them along. Okay, so Hannah has warned you that this party can get weird. Do you all enter the party?
We can't afford to not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stay to the side and observe.
Well, right now
fired.
it's still pretty much a complete barbecue. So you have basically Hannah's just saying, look, at some point you're going to want to leave is basically what's going on. But until
Is it
then,
a pork?
What?
Is it a pork-based barbecue? Because if not, it's about to be.
Oh my God.
Oh, terrible. That was bad as my tome one. Okay, so you're at this party and all these people are drinking and everything else. And you see Pastor Brad and his wife, Helen, and they are talking to a group of people in the backyard. And they're like, look, we understand that the King James Bible is what most religions follow. But I've found that there are so many Gnostic texts that have so many things in them that we can learn from, like the Gospel of Mary and so many others. And through those, we find that the human body is just a vessel that we take up for the moment. And as we are here in this mortal flesh, it is not incumbent on us to worry about the sins of the flesh. Because at the end of the day, God does not care about that part of us. What were you going to say, Janine?
As the pastor is going through all of this, I turn to the professor, kind of side mouth. Sounds like he's about ready to get the orgy started now.
Yes, I can see that. How do we How do we step out gracefully?
I think we need to talk to him first.
All right.
All right. So do you approach him?
Wendy, you're thinking about joining these people in their endeavors and religion and praise or whatever, right?
Well, I was mostly here just for the week, but after hearing that speech, absolutely.
Would you should go and talk to the pastor there about what their recruitment efforts look like and what their core values or whatever the hell, what are they planning to do aside from, fuck each other's brains out?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I will, in fact, approach beautiful Pastor Brad.
Okay.
I would like to explore the house at some point while this interaction is going on.
Excellent. What about you, Michelle? What do you want to do while this interaction's going on?
I want to look at the crowd. I want to look around, see if there's anything in the place that looks familiar as far as occult symbols or things like that.
Absolutely. So for each of you, those are a little bit different roles. For Wendy, I was gonna say, what do you think? You're trying to get information. So, what skill and attribute do you want to use?
Can I use cunning and persuasion?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you go ahead and roll, and I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Michelle, you are looking around for occult symbols. What skill and attribute would you like to use for that?
I'm thinking enigmas and intellect.
Excellent. That works fine. And make your roll, and we'll get back to you. Janine, what about you?
Enigmas and cunning?
Yeah, that works. You're searching, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that seems like it works for me. Go for it.
And then I'm using my 1 extra point for my quip.
Right. If you have a quip or if you have a trademark that can hook into the action you're about to do, if it's a trademark, it's +2. If you if you have a quip point, which I don't think anyone else has, it's a +1 die.
+1 die, so that's 1.
All right, so I'm going to circle back around to Wendy. All right, so you approach the Pastor Brad Whitfield, for a chat, if they were wondering about last names. And he turns to you, and he has, like I said, he looks a lot like the vision that you had when you were sleeping. The short, kind of scruffy, curly, his hair's long, but it's so curly that it's like around his neck and ears, and he's got the perfect smile, and he goes, "Why, hello, I've never met you before. I am Pastor Brad. Welcome to the festivities. What can I do for you?" And real quick, what'd you roll?
Oh, I rolled I had 3 successes total, a 10 and a 9 out of 5 dice.
Okay, cool. So you got 3 successes. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do you say to him?
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Wendy Foster. Hannah invited me.
Hannah, she's a wonderful girl.
Yes, she is. She said you all have the most wonderful belief set and throw equally wonderful parties. I was wondering what recruitment into this flock might be like.
Well, I don't like to look at it as a recruitment. We're not a cult or anything.
Oh, of course not.
But we do enjoy having people who are open to teachings beyond what the regular conservative church would have you think.
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
Yes, it is quite wonderful. You're right. We do have wonderful parties as well where we get to meet with each other and commune with God. Because the closer you get to God, the easier it is to understand their wants and desires for you on this planet, why you are in this mortal flesh.
I would love, absolutely love to learn whatever you have to teach. How often do you gather?
Um, well, we try to get together at least 2 or 3 times a week. We have a party like this once a week where all of our most devoted members come and have a good barbecue and a good time, of course.
That sounds delightful. Um, yes, if you would have me, I would love to join in. Um,
Okay. Um, so he looks at you and goes, "Of course, I would love to have you come to the next party." The the time between have you and come to the next party is a little too much, a little too long.
oh, oh, yes. Quick question,
Yes.
Pastor.
Uh
Um,
huh.
since you believe in God, do you also believe in demons?
Well, I mean, I I guess there's a possibility that there are evil energies out there. Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you believe they walk amongst us?
Um, if you want to spend a couple of your successes, you can put a little pressure on him. It is your choice.
Yep, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna kind of like lean forward and place my hand on his arm and just kind of look up with my big Bambi eyes.
Okay. So you use your Bambi eyes to pull some points and do your thing. And he goes, "How much? Well, I mean, there was one time we were having a party and a negative spirit came into our midst and spoke to one of our former I don't want to say devotee, one of our former parishioners. Yes, parishioners. That's the word I was looking for. And they fell away from us after that. I can't remember. I think it was Kent Do Right. Yes, that was it. Kent Do Right.
Oh, well, with a name like that, they never stood a chance.
You know, I never thought of it that way, but yes, he really had the world against him with that name for sure. But I don't like talking about it in public because I don't want to scare anyone. We've only had good spirits since then come into our parties. So, you know, maybe keep that one to yourself.
Oh, absolutely. I was just curious. I love learning new things. Um, so Hannah mentioned a little herbal remedy that could be, you know, procured at your parties. Who might I speak to about that?
Oh, well, my wife over there has some, I'm going to say, a cornucopia of drugs. And you see right then the pans over to her and she literally turns around with a cornucopia full of drugs.
Oh, that is a wonderful, lovely sight.
Yes, I look forward. I'll catch up with you later. I have a few people to talk to, but it's been very nice to speak with you. And like I said, let's not talk about Kent. Kent Do Right. His name might spook some of our parishioners after that horrible incident. I don't want to lead people down the wrong path. Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. All right. What is there anything you want to do real quick, Wendy?
I'm gonna go over and score some weed so I can get both my aspirations out of the way.
Excellent. So you have both of your aspirations out of the way. So I am relatively new at streaming my own channel. Someone's doing I think it's a hype train in chat. So thank you so much for doing that. That's awesome. We really appreciate all the interactions that you guys are doing in chat. It's great to see, and we hope you're enjoying the show so far. So you make your way over to the literal cornucopia of drugs. Let us jump over to Janine. Janine, what is...
you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready. What are you doing?
So, as I'm kind of watching the party, I'm, under the guise of sneaking away for the bathroom, looking for the bathroom, I sneak away.
Right.
And this is a house, yes?
Yes. It's a big old Victorian house.
So, yeah, I'm making my way methodically through all of the rooms and looking for anything. I think I'll start. It's a Victorian style house. They don't usually have basements, though. Is there a basement here?
I don't know. You want to take narrative control and say there's a basement? There's a basement. I'll let you have that one for free.
There's an attic, actually.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I'm going to make my way up to the attic and look for any hints of what's the word I'm looking for? Summonings.
All right. So, yeah. What did you get on your roll, by the way?
2 10s and 2 8s.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
I know. I had 6 die to roll.
That is awesome. Okay. So that's what 2 10s is 4 successes. And then 2 8s, another. So math hard. 10? 6.
Because the 8s are singles, right?
Yeah, the 8s are singles. You're absolutely right. Math bad, fire good, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, you go up to the attic, and sure enough, you find lots of symbols carved into the ground, into the wood, and burnt down candles.
Are they large?
Yes, they're large.
Okay. I'm going to take out my notebook and do my best to take all of these down by hand.
Okay, I'm going to say, because if you want to spend 2 of your successes, you can literally get all of it down as you're scribbling away. You have a moment of almost an Adderall-fueled moment of genius as you're scrolling things down into your notebook.
I'll take it.
All right, so you spend those 2 points. You also suddenly start hearing chains. Someone there?
I whirl around and I'm squinting towards the sound of the voice.
There's a dark corner that you hear the chains. Is someone there?
And in my hand, as I hastily shove my notebook away, I take out a lighter and just kind of flick it in the direction of the voice.
You see a cage about 4 feet tall. No, 3 feet tall, so not tall enough to stand up in. And there is a nude man with he's white with brown hair. He looks very pale, and looks malnutritioned, like he hasn't seen the sun in a while. And he's got an ankle brace, an ankle chain that's what you're hearing. And he goes, "Please, you have to get the key and get me out of here."
Oh, hell, this is that bullshit. This is why I don't. Who are you?
Kent. My name's Kent.
How did you get up here? I say, taking note of the fact that I just yelled.
They do rituals sometimes, and I angered the pastor and his wife, and they put me up here.
How? What kind of rituals?
They really
Like
think
sacrificing chickens?
No chickens or anything. Oh, chicken would be great right now. I'm so hungry. Maybe with a little of that sauce, like barbecue sauce or something, or just chicken and mashed potatoes.
I'm gonna get you out of here, but you have to tell me.
What? Huh?
What are they working on?
They believe that they can speak with God, and that they can use their followers as conduits. They thought they could use me, and I tried to escape, and they got really upset, and they caught me before I could get away. And they put
Well, I
me
think it'll
here.
arouse suspicion if I. How did you?
You can't leave me here.
Why did you join them? I don't know how to get you out of here. I say, and I begin to like pull on the lock of the door.
Look, there's a pastor has a key in his office. It's where he keeps all his stuff. If you sneak down there and get it and come back and let me out, please. And bring me something to eat. I'm so hungry. If you can, I'd really appreciate it.
I'll do my best. It just if I don't make it, don't tell anyone I was up here. I don't know what they'll do. This demon, as I like storm out of it, like quickly. This shit.
So you go out. Now what I'm gonna flip over to the doctor, but before I do that, you need to figure out basically stealth. So probably dexterity and like athleticism or something like that to be able to sneak
larceny
in. Or larceny. That's a good one. Larceny works. So figure out what skill and attributes you want to use. Now you still have points from that last thing. I'm gonna allow you, because you made so many points, that if you want to use a stunt or something for one of those skills, you can. You can spend those points on stunts. Okay.
Okay. I will think about that.
So while you're doing that, let's jump over to the doctor. All right, Carlisle, doctor. What are you doing, and what did you roll?
Out of the 6 dice that I rolled, I got 1 success.
That's all you really need most of the time.
I know. So I am trying to be nonchalant, but I'm, kind of looking around the house, and I want to see if I see any occult symbols or things that I might recognize.
Okay, so with your 1 occult roll, you find a very old fragment. It's between two pieces of plastic, sealed away so that air can't get to it, and it has Coptic writing on it. So you know that it's some sort, more than likely, some sort of religious writing. And I'm going to say you find this in his study, in the pastor's study. And right as you're looking over it, the door opens.
I turn around.
Standing in the doorway, sneaking in, is Angelique. What did you roll, Janine?
Okay, so I couldn't. Where are stunts in this book? Sorry, or do we just make
page
them up?
246?
You can make
Page
them up, or
246.
you can go to 246 and take a look. So while you guys are figuring that out, go ahead. If you need a couple of minutes, I can flip over to
go ahead.
Chrissy real quick. So let's
see what Chrissy's doing.
Yeah. So you are.
And while you're flipping over to Chrissy, real quick, just the notepad that I have, I'm starting to copy down what's on that parchment.
Okay.
The fragment.
Sounds good. So you start to do that. Wendy, you make your way over to the cornucopia, and there are little bags of weed, not bags of weed. Let's say joints. There's a bunch of joints, and mixed in are these little pills. They're white pills with no markings on them. And there's also an assortment of mushrooms. What do you want to partake in? Oh,
Sorry,
you're
I did
so
not realize I was
stoned.
muted.
You're so stoned we can't even hear you.
Hi. Yeah.
I know you are, but what am I?
Hi, Helen, right? Hi, I'm Wendy.
Oh, hi, dear. What's your name?
Wendy Foster. Hi.
Oh, you said that, didn't you? I'm sorry. I've been
Yes.
having some of the festivities myself, and I sometimes. Anyway, would you like something from our bounty, as it were?
Oh, please. It looks like you have quite an array. I came over for a joint, but what are these? And I hold up one of the pills.
Oh, well, those are our special blend of. Well, you just have to try one. They're mind altering.
Oh, okay. They're not too unnatural, are they?
No, we make them from the purest chemicals.
Wonderful. All right.
So here's a question: Are you gonna
I'm-
actually take one, or are you gonna do the tongue trick and make it look like you do it?
Yep, gonna make it look like I take it and kind of like pop it behind my tooth to give to the good doctor later to see if anything interesting stands out about it, or if they know anyone that can investigate it more thoroughly.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, you'll be feeling that in just a couple of minutes. It's divine. Is there anything else you'd like from our basket here, our cornucopia, as it were?
Oh no, I think I'm gonna go join the drum circle. Thank you, though.
Oh, they're wonderful. They really are. And so you kind of go off, get the pill out, and pocket it. It didn't melt too much. Hopefully it didn't melt enough to get any in your system, but there's a little bit of a chalky taste. and you get to the hippie
That
drum
doesn't
circle.
taste natural at all.
No, it's not. It tastes really unnatural. It's not good at all. And yeah, so you get to the hippie drum circle and everyone's banging away on drums. And is there anything else you'd like to do before I flip back over to the other two?
Okay. No,
Okay.
I'm just gonna dance away.
All right. So Chrissy is dancing away to the drumming. I mean, Wendy is dancing away to the drumming. All right. So the two of you are in the room. Janine, did you figure out what you wanted to do stunt-wise?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to add to my role,
Okay.
but I'm going to roll, and then depending on what I get, I will employ my oh, maybe this is a cinematic effect. Okay. Well,
I mean, if
in that case, I have another one that I'm going to use.
okay. Uh-oh, I think camera
Unless
3's
you want to
starting
let
break
me use
again.
it.
I'll let you use one. Go for it.
Okay.
You can. You had so many successes. I'm not going to say no. You have like so much. Go for it.
So I'm looking for the keys. I'm going to roll those.
All right.
I'm like, have you seen any keys? Anyway, I'm looking for keys to a cage. They have a human caged up there. They said they've been.
What?
He says they've been. Yeah, I need to unlock him.
Well, let's look, and I'll help her look, like
All
in
right.
the desk and all around.
All right. So you find a set of keys.
Okay. I did not succeed on either of those rolls.
Okay. You mean on your stealth roll?
Yes. So I would like to imply dramatic meteorology,
Okay.
which I don't know why I just totally scrolled so far past it. As I'm like not barely successfully, like I'm banging through the drawers and like looking for keys, this jingly thing. And I'm assuming rather than thinking just for flavor text, Dr. Joseph just kind of tosses them to me, which makes more noise. As this starts, I'm like, fuck, we're going to get caught.
Uh-huh.
A loud crash of thunder lights the space, and that allows us to find it. It's telling me my internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, you're a little glitchy, but
so
that's
if that
okay.
happens, that's why.
All right. Wow.
So yeah.
No.
Oh no.
And it kind of covers up the sound of us breaking in and entering.
Sure. So you use dramatic license, and there's someone off the side of the camera that hits the big piece of metal, and as he's throwing the keys to you, there's this big crash of lightning, and you grab it, and that covers up the sound enough that you don't get caught. What do you now know, Doctor, that there is somebody upstairs that's caught. You're writing down furiously as much as you can, and you realize that the drums are beating loudly outside, and that the party is hitting a crescendo, and that time is short to get out. What do you want to do? And I'll go around as we. So, what do you want to do?
Well,
Michelle?
I'm gonna help Angelique free this guy, because can't have some poor guy stuck in a cage.
All right. Well, as you're coming, as the two of you are coming out of the office, you notice that in the main room there's a drum circle, and Wendy is lost in dance in the center. And you notice that a lot of people are starting to pair off and disappear into the different nooks and crannies of the house. do you grab her before you go upstairs, or do you just go upstairs? Like, do you feel like you can grab her without making a scene? What's the choice?
Um. Cutscene.
What? God. We're so close to the end of the day. We only have a few more scenes to go. Are you going to save her or not?
I mean,
not save her, but keep her with you all, or are you splitting up?
I think that Angelique's character would have thought ahead to, come up with a signal so we don't get lost in all of this pot smoke. Can we turn down the fog machines a little bit? Like, I understand that we're going for an effect, but I think we can cut it back a little bit.
Fucking actors, I swear to... Fine, I'll cut back the fog machine, but can we please finish this scene? Figure out what you all want to do. How will you end this particular moment in time?
I agree that we would have worked out a signal ahead of time.
Fine. What signal would you like to use? Over here, up here. Come on. Like
something, what? Something that would fit in. Something like come join me for a smoke break or something like that.
All right.
Yes, you would never do that naturally. So yes, perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah, sure.
That works fine. So just game-wise, we're going to say that uses up the last of your points that you got from that huge success. Mm-hmm. So Wendy, you're dancing around in the drum circle. Oof.
Breaking into my stash, are you?
See, I told you that those fog machines were too much.
Too many fog machines. So you're dancing around and you see Angelique give you the I have weed, come over here signal. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'll go over.
Okay. So the three of you have to sneak up without anybody seeing you. And there's a lot of people around now. I'm going to make it one person has to roll. And I'm going to allow the person with the very best larceny and dexterity to roll. Who has the very best larceny and dexterity?
I have a 1 in each of those.
So not you.
Same.
Wendy?
Oh, I guess that's me then, because I have 1 in larceny, but 3 in dexterity, 4 total.
All right. So give me a roll on your die.
Okay. Can I make it less like I'm sneaking and more just like I'm like, oh hey, so do you want some of this? Let's go, like, so we don't have to share.
Absolutely.
Okay. That is 1 success. I got an 8.
Then you're fine. I'll sneak upstairs, and this is the first time Wendy and Carlisle, Doctor, I do that every time. Get upstairs and you see all of these markings on the ground, and the young man, Kent Do Right, in the cage, shackled.
Oh, they said this party was kinky. I didn't realize that kinky.
They've been starving him as I approach with the keys.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now,
go ahead.
Now they're starting whatever part of the evening where the orgy starts. So you're going to have to blend, but run.
We're all going to have to get out of here. They start casting spells on people during that part because they're, we have to get out of here quick.
Oh,
are they in league with evil spirits?
I believe so. Yes, I really believe it. Please unchain me.
Do I recognize any of the symbols on the floor?
Go ahead, Wendy. I mean, Chrissy.
Yeah, I have a thing where I can kneel down, but go ahead and see if Dr. Carlisle recognizes them first.
Do you want to make a roll about it?
Yeah. Let's see. I've seen these markings before under my trademarks. So that's science. Let's see, that's 3. And humanities and intellect. Right.
All right, give it a whirl.
Out of all those dice, 1 success.
Woo!
And almost all the dice had a 5 on them, except for my 1
Just
success.
Strange.
555, the number of Carl. So you do recognize a lot of these symbols, and they definitely are markings. Some of them are Coptic, some of them are old, like ancient Greek, ancient Egyptian, and it would take you way more time than you have right now to figure this all out. You're going to have to find another way. If only someone had written all of this stuff down. What?
Don't waste your time with that. Come on, we got to get this guy out of here. I have that all taken down.
I say, wait. Are there any markings on the cage or the chains?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm gonna kneel down onto the ground. Something terrible has happened here recently, and I'm gonna use powerful energies.
Okay.
Something happened in this location. You are sure of it by putting your hand on the ground, and you briefly get a vision of what has happened in the last 3 scenes. I want to know why he was put in a cage.
He ate someone.
What?
You see a vision of Kent on top of another student, ripping into them, tearing their throats out, blood everywhere, and the pastor coming up behind him and hitting him in the back of the head and throwing him in this cage. He looked like a beast of some sort, angry and rageful as he tore into human flesh.
No, don't let him out of that cage.
And that's a great place for us to stop this particular episode. We are going to stop here. And I'm going to put a short scene at the very end of the credits of our young escapee as she walks down the street. She turns and she looks at a huge Victorian house full of partygoers. And then we go to black. Thank you all so much for playing. And thank you all so much for listening and hanging out with us tonight. I love ending on cliffhangers. So yes?
Never mind. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Say it, Janine. What's up?
I just, in that vision, she's covered in mud because out of nowhere, just a torrential downpour started. And it was all like sunny skies and everything until she reaches this house. And then it's just like,
like, where'd all this rain come from? And plus I got to say, Chrissy, your line, that last line was just too good not to end on for the evening. I felt that was a great line. So next week, after I sign all of the stupid contracts for Gladys the Crocodile, Candace will grace us with her wonderful presence, and we will continue on filming our movie. We really appreciate everything everybody did in chat tonight. It was awesome. Thank you for following. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for gifting subscriptions. Yeah. Thank you for doing hype trains. Thank you for everything. We really appreciate it. I almost sounded Susie in there for a second. I appreciate, we really appreciate it. It's great. It's awesome. And it helps out a great deal. Before I say my last things, I would like everybody else to let us know what wonderful things they are doing out there in the world. We will start with Michelle.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Mishulu. It's down below my name. It'll scroll by in a second. And, I tweet random things, nothing, but follow me anyway. And you can find my music and Wes's amazing sound effects if you subscribe to the Plate Mail Games catalog through BattleBards.
Janine.
Hello, I'm Janine, also known as Blips and Chits. You can find me on Twitter at Blips and Chits. And I was supposed to post a new pinned tweet today, but I guess I'll do that later. On Saturdays, Tuesdays, you can find me here. On Saturdays, you can find me over at Laura Everlasting on the Lady Maze channel, playing an Arthurian legend-inspired D&D game called Sovereign, Rise of the Dark Queen. There goes my brain. And then on Sundays, alternating Sundays, you can find me TPC this Sunday, and then Sunday after this upcoming Sunday, I will be playing over on that D'Angelo's channel, and D&D and the new game Emerald Templars, respectively, on Sundays.
I want to check out Emerald Templars. That looks really cool.
I like playing new systems, and I'm enjoying kind of like picking up a lot of the inspo for some of the systems there in other games that I'm getting to play. And it's a play test. So bringing some of the other stuff that I'm experiencing in games like this and being like, hey, what would be a really cool mechanic? You should check it out. Come make comments. It's great.
Awesome. And Chrissy.
Hi, I'm Chrissy. You can find me as Chrissy in Color on most social media. And oh goodness, I'm in a few things that are coming up. I just recorded a Mothership episode last night that I'm really excited to see out into the world because it was a lot of fun to record. And it was with Carrie Smith. I think it's coming out on the 26th. And I also recorded Delta Green earlier today with Queen's Court Games, who I am a part of the royal family with. And I think that they're having a Delta Green marathon on the 25th that's going to be airing for. And then, oh goodness, I'm trying to think of what else. That is all that I can think of that I know the airing dates for. But besides that, you can look at my Twitter page to see where you can find me at any specific day, as well as I have a card connected in my bio that has a link of all the previous APs that I've been in that's up on YouTube. And yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. And definitely check out all of these things. There are some great groups out there doing wonderful things. So take the time, follow everybody on Twitter to hear about upcoming stuff. Delta Green is one of my favorite systems to run. I love that system. And hopefully we will be able to run it here on 12-sided sooner rather than later. We actually have a Delta Green game that we do for our Patreon people and our coffee people. So if you like that sort of thing, jump over there and check it out. All of our links are below. We have a podcast. 12-Sided Story has been around for about 4 years doing podcasts. We've played tons of different games. Janine has been in a few of them, and it has been just a ton of fun. Vampire, Call of Cthulhu. We're doing a City of Mist right now. Just lots and lots of different things. So go check those out. Check out 12-Sided Stories on Twitter to find out what's coming up. Thanks all so much for like I said, we really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see what happens next week with this group and see where we go from here. So have a great night, and we'll see how much blood we spill next week, okay? Bye, everybody.